Okay, we are live. Hey y'all. Okay, what's up? It's your girl JDB, the inner child healer, and as well my lovely mom, aka the Queen of Real Talk. Introduce yourself, mom. Tell them
Yeah,
about you.
what you want me to tell them? I'm Ebony Yvonne, the Queen of Real Talk. Usually, I'm a transformation specialist or strategist. It just depends on how you want to look at it. I specialize in relationships, astrology, and business strategies. So get at your girl.
Hey, okay. So we're gonna go through today, you guys, 5 different ways that men categorize themselves. When dot, and we'll get into that now. So where do you want to start, Mom Bear?
It's really on you.
You
I,
know what
I, go ahead, go ahead.
I kept thinking about? I kept
Mhm.
thinking about when you said slut bucket, and I was like, we have to start there. Like, okay, or
Uh,
we can say the categories and then go into it.
well, if I don't know, like, what's most helpful in terms of like just giving background as to how I got there, or if you just want to jump right into the protocol.
Let's
But I'm
jump into
happy.
the protocol of like, how do
Okay.
you like? Remember that conversation you had with me recently?
Mhm.
Act like you're just telling me because I know there's young women, even men who are going to be watching who need to know what category they may be in regards to
Mhm.
a woman that they're interested in. So
Mhm.
speak from it, talk about those categories, and I'll add on and flow with you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I feel like, as a young woman out in the dating world, I feel like a lot of times, I know for me as a young woman, I used to, and I'm still to a degree, somewhat boy crazy. And so, you meet that guy and you start fantasizing and like, you just met him and already you've like come up with a whole storyline about where y'all going and this and that and whatever. And it can be cute to fantasize or what have you, but it also could be very damaging. And so I kind of designed this protocol in order to kind of safeguard, if you will, and just kind of be able to observe and like really be clearer about what it is that I'm seeing as I'm navigating and dating and whatnot. So that 14-day protocol, and I say 14 because it can look like you usually can discern within 14 days, but it may take
Mhm.
you up to 3 dates or 1 month, whichever. My mother always used to say that, your nana, she
Yeah.
always used to say 3 dates or 1 month to be able to tell if you really wanna go further with someone in terms of building a more meaningful connection with them. But generally, within the first 14 days, up to 3 days or 1 month, you will know if I'm vibing with this person or not. And
Yeah.
so this bucket protocol is where I like to kind of assess people and put them in the bucket because I think it's just helpful for your mental health,
Mhm.
and over time it just gives you more grace. And it also gives them an opportunity to move from bucket to bucket. But we said men put themselves in this category because I think if you're being in your feminine energy, right? If you're being receptive and observant, then you will see that they will indeed put themselves in this bucket. You don't have to put them in the bucket. They're going to put themselves in the bucket. So, what that looks like is you got your two bottom kind of tier buckets because this is not necessarily
I'm
linear.
I'm writing it in real time. I'm writing all the
Okay,
buckets
this
in the
is
chat.
this is not, and y'all let me know if I'm going too fast or what have you, but this is not necessarily linear. So this can move around, all right? And
Mhm.
there's some nuances and some caveats to, some things. And so you got your bottom, I would say, two buckets. They're kind of like, I don't want to say of the same coin, but they're definitely on that like range or scale of one another. And that is the friend
The
bucket
friend.
and that is the slut bucket,
Then
right?
the slut bucket.
Slut bucket, the community
Slut
bucket.
bucket is number 2, y'all.
Yeah, and that is it feels fun to, to have a slut bucket, right?
Wait. I feel like I want to share my screen so y'all can see the. Hold on. Let me see
You
if I
have
can.
a diagram of this?
I have the photo. Hold on. Let me share my screen and
Oh
show y'all
goodness.
so y'all can see and be like, what is she talking about?
Well, I'll give some definitions of the buckets. I guess I probably should give a lineup of all 5 of the buckets, and then I'll give what buckets we're gonna dive into first.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
You said you should give a line on far.
I
I
should
don't
give a
know what I
lineup
should
of
do.
all buckets, and then I'll dive into each one.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna just literally copy and paste and put it in the chat. I'll be out for 2 seconds. Hold on.
Okay. Da-da-dee, da-da-da, da-da.
Okay, hold on. I'm literally gonna copy and paste what you sent me.
I low
I
key
don't.
don't want to give it away though
I
until
know.
okay, don't give it away. Don't
Yeah,
give it
yeah.
away.
No. I was thinking the same thing.
You
That's
can give it
your
to me once it's
mom.
done.
Your at handle. What's your at handle? They asked it.
Where?
Jackie New said copy and paste. Oh, let me put it in. Don't keep talking. So you saying
Um,
friend and
okay.
slut bucket.
So what? So back to the buckets. I got
Mm-hmm.
distracted.
Sorry
Apologies.
about that.
All right. So you got the friend bucket and you got the slut bucket. Now, the thing about it is the friend bucket, it's really interesting because 9 times out of 10, if you have put someone in this friend bucket, they probably can't get out, right? They're probably someone that you do not see yourself being with in an intimate way, and or they are someone who has relegated themselves into that placement to where you can no longer be bothered. So it is a friend bucket.
You
They
like
around.
that's my friend.
That's my friend,
But
but
that's really your friend. Like we
that's
have
the
to separate.
end.
Cause
That's
some
it.
people, cause we talked about it, some people can be in the other categories as we'll get to, and then they can slide to friend. You'd be like, never again.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
And I know that this can be complex in the sense that people will say, "Oh, but don't you want to be friends first?" Yes, but not in a way in which I can never see you intimately, right? So that's not this category. I don't want that to be
And
confused.
and
So,
that's the difference between these are categories you guys once again for your love life, not
mhm,
your just your friends.
mhm,
It's a love life category. It's your seventh house, okay? If you
mhm,
want to say that, okay, or your fifth house.
mhm. So your friend, all right.
Mhm.
Then you have the slut bucket. Now,
And the same applies. People can slide into these different,
yeah,
but you don't want it
the
to be.
only thing is that I kind of feel, and y'all can test the theory, y'all let me know. But I personally feel that if they're in that friend bucket, they should not get out. That's how I feel.
Hold on. Okay, go back.
Okay. If they in that friend bucket, they should not get out because something in your spirit has resonated. Something in your spirit has said no over here. Okay, that is no. They
Mhm.
again, this is someone that you do not see in an intimate way. Um, despite you getting to know them, okay, this is someone who may have relegated themselves to this area, and yeah, you
It's
just
a
haven't
cutoff.
you haven't blocked them yet, or maybe you just call them that because you sliding
Mhm,
out, right?
mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
just
mhm,
saying.
mhm.
Okay, so then you got slut bucket, and slut bucket is reserved for those individuals that either you just started dating and immediately off the rip, off top, they've already started showing you that they're interested in one thing, okay? Or they're forward, hey, they're forward with that, right? So without even telling you what their intentions are, their actions, their behaviors are already leading towards a place of, oh, okay, I see where you're at. Now, it's your choice and decision as a woman as to whether or not you want to engage or entertain that or not. So that's why we got them over here in the slut bucket because, you know, if it was just a friend, they can't get in. Okay.
Man,
So you got to put them over here in the slut bucket because slut bucket, the thing about that too is you could dibble dabble in there when you need to. These are the guys that are in your phone in case of break of emergency. This could be this could be a
and if y'all
sneaky
got
link.
questions, ask too.
Okay,
If y'all got
okay.
questions,
But
ask.
this could be a sneaky link. This could be just someone that you're genuinely not seeing a long-term future with, but you do have that physical, sexual chemistry. And if you choose to engage it, this is the lane, the bucket in which they are. Mhm.
Remember when we was talking about homosexuals and how people be trying to slide? That's what I was trying to say. Let me be careful with my words. Don't mix my words up, y'all, because I talk fast. Some people be trying to slide in different categories that don't belong there. Like we was talking about friends that be trying to get bay qualities, and we was like, you can't
Mhm.
get bay qualities. And then they be trying to get the wifey, but then they be really slut bucket. So how do you
Yeah,
make sure that you don't allow a person to like, you know what I'm saying?
observance. And that's why when we started this conversation, my keyword was it's going to take you some time to discern. So typically, you want to give yourself at least 14 days. We're in the microwave era. Back in the day, you ladies had to wait 90 days, and maybe y'all are still doing that. I don't know. And it's probably the
Some
safer
of
thing
us,
to do.
but
Right.
it's a little harder nowadays.
Right, but I would think it's a little bit harder and it's a microwave era. And so with that, you want to at least be able to observe and discern for those initial 14 days. I promise you, if you're just paying attention, if you're having the right conversations, if you're looking for the right questions to be asked of you, and if you're asking the right questions, you will find out what you need to find out. You know what I mean? But you have to be very intelligent about that. And it's not so much like you're going in like interrogation and you gotta what's up, but you have to understand that I'm going in with the intention of learning someone, being observant of someone, and really seeing if the things that they're telling me resonate not only with their actions but what is bubbling up in my spirit,
Mhm.
right?
Like
Does this
proof.
feel, yes, does this
Yeah,
feel energetically right for me? Or
right.
is something awry? Right.
Because
Mhm.
that shows you a lot of times, sometimes we could be in situationships, where I was talking about women, a lot of women who are independent, they experience like homosexuals or different men trying to attach themselves to them, or they'll experience the opposite depending on their struggle and stuff. But you notice a lot of times people kind of telling themselves and their true
Right.
intentions and what they want. So
Right.
it just helps you. These categories can help y'all as we go through them
As we
sort
go
your
through.
love life out instead of wasting your time. And
Mhm.
even if time was wasted in your sense, looking at it as an investment because now you know better, and so now you can shoot your,
Correct.
help your shot be shot and shoot your shot, but help it.
Correct.
You know
Correct. And
what I'm saying? Without you having to do too
my
much.
strategy is actually to fall back a little bit because trust me, it will
That's what
be
I'm trying to say. It's like
revealed.
you don't have to
You
do
don't have
anything.
to interrogate. You don't have to go crazy. Like you could just really be, and they will show up and show out and show you who they are. You know what I mean? And they will put themselves in that bucket with literally within 14 days up to 3 dates or 1 month, And so by then you can then determine if I want to move forward with a more getting to know this individual more and really trying to see if this is something I want to continue to build upon for that meaningful connection, right? And maybe land in one of these other buckets that we're gonna talk about.
Right. And
Hmm.
too, you can give yourself grace. That's a better way for me to say the rambling I did. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
give
yeah.
yourself grace. Not rambling, because y'all know I'll be channeling. That's what it is. Give yourself grace for the mistakes y'all have made when it comes down to dating. Because we do live in a microwave era with dating and relationships. So it's a lot of stuff that may have not been taught or was taught depending on our households we grew up in. And so I'm happy that I have my mom on here to speak with me, and I'm not just giving all the gems. Y'all can see where I got my gems from too. She's the spiritual ace boon coon OG that put me on, okay, got me, had me with the chakras aligned, crystals, and I didn't even know that's what was going on. So give yourself grace, and allow yourself to grieve like your old dating love life, because this is some good love tips that honestly in just a couple months she told me this and I was like, oh, I made a few mistakes, but let me, now I can pivot, and
Yeah.
we've been learning together. So that's what this is about: learning, unlearning, and now we're learning a new tactic, because if you don't categorize men, they definitely will categorize you, and then you'll be feeling
Yeah.
low. So
Yeah, and let me just touch on that before we get into these other three categories, because that's a little bit about how this came about. Far too often, and I know if the women in this chat room, I can't see you all, but I know you all have experienced this before, where maybe you thought it was a connection, but it wasn't a connection, or the guy was just out for one thing, or it was this and as that, and those things happen, yes, and they don't feel good in the moment, no, but oftentimes it's really just because we don't understand why that's happening, and it's
mhm.
because it's not, yes, it could be because he has an agenda or his intentions were flawed or what have you, but it's also because he has a great reasoning tool and mechanism in terms of being able to quickly place and identify and not get caught up with the delusion of who you might be in his
Mhm.
life. So
Yeah,
he's just able to come to reconcile that quicker and be like, wifey, girlfriend, jump off, whatever, and don't feel no type of way about it. And so that's then where we see the motives behind it. And we're like, oh my God, how could you? But that's because he's already clicked off and
yeah.
figured out this is all that I want to get out of it. So that's why I say you don't have to be all like, what are your intentions for me? And this and that. They're gonna tell you.
They're gonna tell you. And I think it's beautiful because we have the eclipse coming up, and then it's in Libra. The new moon's in Libra. We're both Libra moons, and on top of it, um, it's like Libra energy is masculine, and so I feel like this is a great opportunity, not just for the men watching, or if you're more feminine, that's based on your placements and stuff, and like you maybe didn't know you had to look at your love life in this way, and shoot, now you got some way to protect yourself. But for women, a way to use your divine masculine energy to protect you in an easier way, so that you're not just getting harmed, and now you can categorize and decide, oh, I'm good,
Mhm,
yes,
mhm,
no, and delegate your life, because
mhm,
it's your life, and that's what helps you step into your empress energy, and then
mhm,
it'll be easier for you to be a magnet for that emperor to come in, because you're operating from that space. And a lot of times the emperor energy is very direct and cutthroat, so don't
mhm.
feel bad if you do, yeah, like what my mom said,
Well, so
if
here's
you
a
got to
point
step
on
into that
that. You do
energy.
have to be careful not to be overly guarded and just
Yeah.
bucket people, just arbitrary bucket because like go get yourself together.
Yeah, go heal. Don't be just like too like. But Libra energy is soft. Like it's still,
Yes,
it
but
delegates, but it's soft.
what will happen is what I found for me is that by practicing this method, what it does is it allows me to take off false expectations, which then
Mm-hmm.
allows me to feel better in my body and in my emotional spirit about whatever happens. Like if he is already exhibiting slut bucket, I'm not mad
Yeah.
that you're not over here, okay? Because I already knew, you was community. I already knew that. So
Yeah, it's
why
like the act. It's like the story unfolds.
right. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Hmm.
it becomes less disappointing in terms of what may unfold or transpire for this outcome,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Um, so yeah.
So
And friend, you ain't even got it. You wasn't thinking about them, no way. So
the friend, y'all know, friend, y'all friend is the guy you not thinking about.
you wasn't thinking about them, no
Don't
way.
be don't try to play a game. This also help you not run game and be real with people too. I
Yeah,
love that because
right. It will.
it
Yeah,
helps you not waste other people's time, your time. It's like,
absolutely.
mhm,
Absolutely. Because you don't
yeah,
want somebody treating you like that, right?
you don't
Go
want
there.
nobody treating you like that. Yeah.
Correct. Right.
So
So moving on to bucket three. Bucket three is really where you want to be. Bucket three, if you're single, that is, right?
yeah.
So
Also,
bucket three.
not
Go
to cut
ahead.
you off, but slut bucket obviously wouldn't apply if y'all are celibate. So y'all can maneuver the categories if you're
Right.
not
If you're
sexually active while
celibate or
dating.
you're abstaining and you're still dealing with each other, thank you. If you're celibate and abstaining and you're still dealing with this individual, 9 times out of 10 they fit in this other bucket that I'm about to move to right now. Slut bucket is really reserved for individuals who are not trying to show you long-term commitment or, perhaps even short-term commitment. They're just trying to
Yeah.
have fun. There's someone maybe you're seeing serious, like maybe it's a situationship, maybe it's a sneaky link, maybe it's that type of thing, but it's not really serious. It's someone you can be intimate with, but you're not looking at them that way,
Yeah.
right? Now, once you can get past those defining, if
And
they
put those
call
people in those categories, y'all, because some of y'all do be in situationships and y'all be dealing with homosexuals, all kinds of stuff. Put them
it,
in the slut bucket. That is not your person. That is not your divine masculine or your divine feminine. Come on now.
yeah, I mean, and some may argue that, oh, I've been in a situationship and it falls into this bucket right here, which is just generally dating, right? Dating is the category in which we are getting to know each other. We are, seriously, intentionally trying to understand who each other are so that we can determine if we want to go further in this connection. We are courting each other, we're dating, we're doing the things, we're out and about having. Some people get stuck here because they do get into a situationship. However, what you need to understand is that a situationship means that that person is unsure about you. Trust me, I know firsthand. Okay. So I know firsthand. So, with that, if someone is unsure of you, then you need to be sure to categorize them properly. All right. Unless you want to keep them in the dating bucket because you're comfortable with having them there. Okay.
Mm. Because you got to be real about what the hell you're ready for. Sorry, excuse me. Like, what you're really genuinely ready for. Because sometimes that happens where someone will come in or you'll be going through something. Y'all see it all the time. We'll go through this caterpillar then butterfly effect where it's like sometimes we have moods and emotions where we'll be like, I don't even want to date, I don't even want to talk to nobody. And so this is why you have these different categories. So be
Mhm.
real too about where you're at, so then when you do start categorizing, you don't categorize from the wrong space. To be mindful, I just have to say that.
That's a very invalid and important point because I was actually just thinking about this the other day. What you may want in your 20s versus what you're going for in your 30s
Hmm.
versus what you're aiming for in your 40s or 50s is very different. And
Hmm.
also depending on what things you've been through in life. Like I've been married twice, you know what I mean? So that is not necessarily a goal of mine in dating. And so that looks very different than for me defining what does companionship or partnership look like for me at this age versus when I was in my 20s or 30s, and that was the aim. I wanted to be married. I wanted a family. You know what I mean? So you do have to really have a strong uh
like
idea, or
like an
sense.
understanding of where you're at
Yes.
in your season. Because
Mhm.
some of us, like you said, like the trauma, the things you've seen. I was just doing a live for Aries. It can make you indifferent or super like desiring stuff. So be careful and be mindful
Right.
of like where you're at. Because what you
Right.
might want, you might put somebody in a category, and they may not be ready to go to the
You
next
might be
level.
seeing them skewed. Right.
Hmm.
Right. You might think, "Oh, I wanna be married, I wanna be married," and then, you be messed around and got married, and you're like, "Why did I get married?" You know what I mean? So, it's like sometimes we don't know, but, in fairness, you also don't know what you don't know, you know?
Yeah,
Sometimes you genuinely just gotta try some shit out and just see how it goes. You
in
just don't
love with the unknown album dropping soon. All right, so the third category, dating, y'all. So we have friend.
dating. So you got friend, we just friends, and that's not to be confused with, well, I
That's
mean,
what I was trying to
could a
say.
best friend fit in that category? I'm gonna say no, because if you're honest with yourself, your best friend, when you be like, "That's my best friend," uh,
That's it's
will be
true. That
belly. Imma
that
just
friend in that
it
slut
be
bucket
it be a
category is
real it be you be yeah, it be more like a situationship. So I'm gonna go put them over here. And yeah, no, that's that.
yeah. We're gonna put friend and slut buckets away, y'all. If you want
Yeah,
more than that. Now
yeah.
we on dating
I
and
kind of look at friend and slut bucket on the same tier, in the
yeah,
sense that I don't look at either one of those relationships as really going somewhere. The
right.
only difference is that I have legitimately seen people be in the slut bucket, like maybe you're having a sneaky link relationship, and then they mess around and fall in love and then accelerate into another category.
I
And
was
that's
gonna bring
totally
that up.
possible.
That's like the only way these people could come out of those categories because things do change. And if spirit has something for you, God has something for you,
Yeah.
it'll manifest. We've seen
Nothing
that
is
a lot,
absolute.
that
Mhm.
people have been jumping into. It almost seems like a situationship or jumping into things fast, and then they
Mhm.
manifest their hubby or something out of it. But then sometimes, those strings get attached and people can't handle it, and they do fall in love. So you
Yeah.
just gotta be easy, y'all. That's what my
Just
mom
be,
taught
you
me.
never know, but don't also be delusional and too
Yeah,
hopeful when you know that you've seen what you've seen that made you categorize them as such, or
in
ma
the
or
first
made
place.
or helped you to identify that they have categorized themselves as such. Let's be clear. Okay.
You say
So
I like when a man changed my mind. Mm,
that
mhm.
right.
Yeah, make me change my mind because if
Make me
you in a
change your mind.
category, it might not be
Yeah.
easy for you to get out one of them.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what happens is that those, like, sneaky link situationship deals, it's because you've been being intimate with them physically, right? And then it's somewhat forming some type of bond, because sometimes those situationships go deep. Like, sometimes
Yeah.
you're meeting family, you're traveling together, it's like a whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But over time you are deepening that connection, right? And then what's happening is that you are somewhat operating in your divine feminine, because you're somewhat detached and you're
Mhm.
not really present with them, and you kind of moved off to the side and you're still doing your thing. And so when you show up that way, not the clingy way where you're hopeful and thinking that this is going to go somewhere, but when you show up.
Soon as you don't give a F, then they might be like, hold on, I don't need you to be, I need that. You my divine feminine. And they'd be like, wait, hold on. We wasn't even, I thought we was just having fun. And it was like, they can't even handle that.
That part.
Love is tricky down there. Yeah, down here. Jackie Lou, shout out
That
to you.
part. That
Real
part.
talk.
Yeah. Okay. So that's when I have seen those situations change, because feelings will change over time as you continue to engage, right? Okay.
Mhm.
And I do see that to be more likely with the slut bucket than the friend bucket. Because again, friend bucket,
I
you might be repulsed by that person. This is someone that you really don't even see yourself being intimate with at all. Okay.
Friend is
Uh,
not even somebody you should be kissing and hugging. It's like friend is friend.
they
Friend, friend is friend, y'all.
yeah, yeah,
Friend zone. That's the category. Period. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
So, category 3, dating, getting to know each other, genuinely interested, You'll, may you determine
Mutual
how long you want to stay there, but it's mutual understanding, connection, and you'll stay
interest.
there for as long as you feel comfortable.
Mhm.
Usually within 14 days, 3 dates to 1 month, you will know if you want to continue in that lane with them. And then where you go from there, it's on you two. You're genuinely in there, locked in, dating. And that's where you want to aim for, right? For and just in terms of like navigating the dating
Yeah.
landscape, right?
Hmm.
Right? Okay.
It's
Yeah.
because now you're creating your own, yeah, the landscape. I won't elaborate on anything else. Your
Yeah.
garden,
Yeah.
your garden is your life. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
see if it's gonna work or not, or if you gotta uproot that. Like, oh no, that's not gonna work.
Right.
So next category is
So
bae.
yeah, so category 4 is where, category 4 or 5, it really just depends on what you aspire to. Again, some people may make it to category 4 and be perfectly content there because perhaps that is all you're looking for. You're not looking to go to that higher level of commitment. Some people may want to go into category 5, and technically it just varies, and I'll tell you why. So category 4 is bae. Okay, before all else, why? Because we are exclusive.
Right.
That's your bae.
Bae gets the yams. And
Okay.
I'll say that for my people. If you trying to be celibate or trying to just like resist, I would give Bae the yams
Yeah.
or dating in somewhere between dating and Bae. That's where the
Yeah,
yams get.
you can discern for yourself between dating and bae, you know what I mean? But bae, y'all locked in,
Mhm.
like bae is definitely, but again, like that's what it is. It's bae. Like we together,
Everybody know that's your boyfriend.
everybody
That's your
know, like, okay, our intentions are clear about one another. There's no guessing, like we're together.
yeah.
Okay. We're together. You may not live together, okay? And this is the distinguishing point between this next category a bit. This one and one other detail. But you may not live together with Bay, okay?
Hmm.
So that would be the only thing. But this is like a serious connection, serious partnership, long term, you know,
Bae,
that's my
that's your person. That's when they be like, that's my person.
yeah,
Um, um,
yeah,
it
yeah.
makes me feel sad because I had somebody in the Bay category and then I had to take them out, and I was like,
Uh,
why you made me introduce you to
I
everybody
mean, if
and
they
all
made
this
it
other
today, they
shit?
must
Like,
be worth fighting for. No? No?
huh? What you
Okay.
say?
If they made it to Bay, they may be worth fighting for. See, and that's also a distinguishing point. You're not fighting for Slut Bucket. You're not fighting for friend. Okay. You're not necessarily fighting for dating either. Category 3, you're not necessarily fighting for that. You're intrigued by that. You're interested by that. You want to see where that goes. But again, that's something that
I
if you
think
need
I
to push
pushed
it,
them too fast into Bay category because this was prior to after you told me the categories, and then I was like, oh nah, I wish I had this before I fucked around, and so I pushed them too fast into a category that they thought they were ready for, but the actions and certain things I saw were like
well, you got to remember too,
the dating. I should have dated a little bit
maybe a
longer,
little longer.
and
But you got to
then
be careful too, because sometimes you just got to be in it to win it. Nobody is perfect. People
yeah,
are gonna make, mistakes or what have you. And I think that's a part of like why time has sped up. That's why I'm saying microwave society, like you gotta kind of see it quicker
that's
because
what it was.
the
It was
turnover
microwave,
is faster these days, right? But sometimes you want to just
but I gave it a chance.
okay. Yeah.
I gave it a fair chance. Like I gave it my all.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well, and one of the discerning factors is when you break up with somebody, do you miss them? Because if you don't, then
that's why we're doing this right now. Cause
do I miss you for real?
that's if the abs heart grows fonder, absence head ass.
Okay, because if it don't, then okay, Thank
And y'all
you.
have to, that's why you guys got to make sure you're doing your shadow work and your healing, because sometimes you can miss toxic situations and you can crave things that's not going to still lead you to the reality of what you're pushing for. So for me, I had to see the reality, and my delusional Jade and the reality were not honoring what was really going on, and the reality was not being met, the promises, the agreements, the commitment. So I'm like, I'm happy I have these categories, just speaking for myself, because I'm like, if it helped me in just a couple of weeks, a couple like a month, I know other people are needing this information, and I can't wait till you drop a book about it or something.
Okay. From your lips to spirit's ears. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, Bay though. Like, that's your person. That's, everybody should be in awareness that y'all are, that's like pre-union energy. I would say union is like the last category.
Union is absolutely the last category. The last category, and I still don't necessarily have words for it. Maybe union is it, because when I sent it to you, I was like, my excuse me, my man with the
Mm-hmm.
ring upon the finger.
It's okay.
Excuse me. And that's because that's how I look at that last category. I look at it as, the highest, deepest level of commitment that you can make with someone. Nine times out of 10, here in Western culture, you're probably married. At the very least, you may very well be living together, but, like some type of common law union, or maybe it's just even by virtue of the years that y'all have spent together, in terms of like, we've been living together for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. But you be the gauge of that. But basically, the real determinant is, this is someone in which we have decided that we're going into this higher, deeper level of commitment, union, and understanding. So it's just a bit
Right.
more than just being exclusive. It's the commitment factor. Mhm.
It's hubby. Even if y'all don't do like the whole, whether you elope, you get a ring or not, or however y'all do it, because I know times have changed.
Mhm.
Bay is not the same as hubby. Hubby is your divine masculine, your divine feminine, your person you're claiming out loud to the world. Y'all worlds are
Right.
combined,
Right.
very much, and it's seen. And I would say it's those type of connections where people could even just see it too.
Right,
It's
right.
mhm,
This is the person you're living your life with. Bae, you guys may be exclusive, but you
right.
may not be at a level in which you are sharing life on that level, right? Um, yeah.
Mhm.
So it's just different. Hmm.
And it helps you guys know in these categories not be giving your wifey, divine feminine, masculine, or hubby benefits to like
Your
your blood
boyfriend.
bucket, or your babe
Yeah, because
boyfriend.
they is essentially that, your boyfriend.
Yeah, like,
What the boyfriend of your husband, is not your husband. Can be your boyfriend, but
mhm,
your boyfriend is not
your
your husband.
husband. Yeah. And now y'all can discern too and start asking y'all other things. Create these categories, write it down, and start seeing like who is giving. Would your husband even do that or not? Because sometimes I'll be thinking like to myself, I'll be like, this is why so and so is a friend, because my husband,
Right, right,
my
right, right,
husband would
right,
never.
right. Yeah, it really forces you as a woman. That's why I love this exercise so much, because it forces you as a woman to take a step back, to observe what you're seeing, and then to respond to that. Is this, do I like how he's showing up? Do I like how that feels? Do I think I could conform to that type of energy or that behavior that he's giving me? You know what I
Right.
mean? And it forces you to then not necessarily project what he needs to do onto him, but rather it forces you to think about and reflect, what do I really value most? What are my standards? You know what I mean? Where do I need to be in terms of desire versus want, or what have you?
Your
You
needs.
know? Right, and
like
it just
shape
kind
you.
of forces you to assess those things naturally for yourself, and like you said, you were making that point earlier, you may come to realize, "Dang, I thought I wanted something different. I didn't want that.
That's what I was trying to say about earlier about
Oh,
my
I don't like him as much as I thought I did."
ah,
Okay.
it's it's a wake up call because you be like,
Right,
wait, because then you
right.
see too how you're showing up, and a lot of y'all. And shout out to Wifey Does Tarot. We will definitely do a collaboration, my girl. You've given me a couple great, amazing readings, and they have full circle. They're full circling right now, but
Mm.
a lot of us are giving. I noticed for a lot of the women that even watch me, y'all be giving wifey divine feminine energy all day long. And so I was like, no, they need to know these categories because I'm tired of us.
It
It's like if
Yeah,
you're gonna have your sneaky link, your slut bucket, at least let it be that and take your power back. This is a
it
and
does.
for my masculines to I'm tired of them not knowing how we see them as divine feminines or whatever, because this day and age is not gonna give you the guide or the blueprint on they're not gonna tell y'all. That's why they be like sprinkle, sprinkle everything. And you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna tell. You're not gonna tell. So this is your opportunity to get the tea so that
Yeah.
y'all can maneuver yourselves. Shit, for some of y'all, you might maneuver out of a friend zone and just find your wifey if you move correctly and do your thing. So
Yeah,
or
this
whatever.
protocol definitely, this bucket protocol really does help you to better for my girlies who have, there are some girls, okay, wait. For my
Oh,
girlies who have issues with boundaries, let me say that, right?
go in.
Because there are some women who I think either by natural, just innate ability, or perhaps just because of their upbringing or the things that they've been through, perhaps the parental figures that they've had or the guidance they've had, they know it just naturally how to assert themselves in a way and have these buckets and where they don't let men go too far,
Right.
right? However, there are those of us who operate differently, right?
Mhm.
These are the ones who we've shown up time and time again. We've poured out ourselves. We've tried to give people grace. We've given too much trust.
I'm
We
recovering
kind of
over
right,
last
hopeless
again.
romantic. We're loving each other, doing all the things. And it's like we don't understand how and why is it happening this way. And so that is where a lot of this came from in terms of the development of this concept and just kind of getting there. And it really does help you to figure out where or how much access to give someone,
Right.
right? And then that becomes very empowering
Right.
because you know exactly where you stand with this one, that one, whatever,
Right.
right? It's just you have
It's
to be careful.
you
Like
gotta be and you gotta be clear and you gotta stay out the delusion and see the reality.
be
Yeah.
very mindful,
Yeah.
very clear, very observant.
Very demure, mom. That was very demure, mom. Okay. This is the Queen of Real Talk, y'all. Mother speaking straight
Uh,
truth. Real talk. I can't curse y'all when mommy's around.
I
Real talk.
try to get a little respect, with the
I
language.
give the
Yeah,
respect.
but I curse. That's good. I know you're coming up in age, so you think I would get it together by now, but yeah, it's
You know
just
they say I seen this line. I thought of you when I posted it, and it said I curse. Could you always be like, "Oh, you cuss like a sailor" or something or whatever you used to tell us, and you'd be like, "Oh." But I saw this line, and it was like, "Oh, I cuss like a sailor, but I bless you like an angel." And I was like,
that's
"That
it.
is my mom.
That's
Like that
it.
is
That's
me. That's
it.
all of us."
When you have your firstborn, then I'll get over myself. Yeah.
Okay.
She's like,
Anyways,
yeah, that'll be some time. Right.
mom, are you single?
Uh I am single.
Okay, I just wanted
What
to throw
other
it out there.
Q&As do we have? And then we're gonna wrap this thing on up.
I'm single too, y'all, if y'all was just wondering. But
Oh,
all right, we're gonna wrap this up. If y'all wanna follow my
I
mom
got a
Instagram,
moment.
her YouTube and everything is all Queen of Real Talk. Also, mine's is at the Inner Child Healer. I have it all down below in the description box. And that's pretty much it. Do y'all have any questions before we close this circle, this portal out? And also Mom Bear, if you have any gems you want to drop or PSAs, like new things you have coming up on the horizon, tell us. You said her YouTube not working. It might be that it's an underscore at the end, wasn't it? Or am I?
Um, I
I
will find out. I would say, you know, where we're at right now, energy is shifting, right?
yeah,
And so more than ever, we have to get to a place where we trust ourselves, you know, where we trust ourselves.
yeah,
And so, that requires showing up differently. That requires some new strategies around our own behavior and being present, right? To feel exactly what is going on in your body so that you can instinctually respond or intuitively
yeah.
get the message,
Real
right?
talk. So
So, yeah, I would just say try it, slow down. This requires a slowdown. It requires you to slow down, observe, see. So yeah. If y'all my YouTube for the record too, it's not I don't have nothing up there. Jay
they
told
want to.
me
Oh,
to get my life together and come on over here. So I'm here. Most of my content that I've had has always been on Instagram. So you can find me over there, Queen of Real Talk underscore. I have shows over there, Flow Talks. I have Q&A Real Talk Tuesday over there. I have so many show that's just archived. Like I haven't even posted anything for months. So I just want to say, Jade, thank you so much for having me on your show today, bringing me out my hermit shell because I have been really in my shell for months. I have not been on the mic or the camera at all. So, but there's a wealth of information and shows and tips and tools and advice over there if you're interested.
yeah. Y'all better tune in, okay? Because when she come up out the shell fully, y'all gonna be like,
I'll be
"Dang,
out closer to the end of the year. I'll be out. But this is my what? My debut
this is
premiere.
her debut on the JDB page." Yeah,
Thank you, Katie.
yes.
Thank you. All
I
right.
love you,
Do you
mom.
have any questions, right?
I don't think they had any questions. I think we answered them, and if they
Okay.
do, we will run it back.
All
I
right.
just said, "Love you too. Great show." Shout out to
Love
Queen
you.
been watching
Thank you.
Readings Reflection. All right,
Greetings.
that's all I have to say. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Hope y'all enjoy. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys. Oh my god, it would give me hell to end it. All right, bye.